Hi, it's Angela Critters. Well, we're going to make some cruffins, they're called. It's a combination croissant muffin, and we are using a can of Crescent Rolls. We've got one spread out. I just finished pinching together the little serrated edges, and then we've got some cinnamon I sprinkled over that. So first I've got 2 tablespoons of melted butter. We're going to put that on top of the dough. We've got a cup of pie filling, and I'm using peach pie today. You could use anything you want. And we've got a little bit of brown sugar, and we're going to go ahead and prep this first with the butter. And I have 2 cans of the crescent dough because each you get 2 cups of the peach filling in each of the peach cans, the pie filling, and each one of these takes 1 full cup. Okay, so we've got our butter on it. And I'm making these a cheesecake version. Now during the week you can make them a real easy version that doesn't have cheesecake. But I'm adding a little bit of softened cream cheese with some confectioners sugar and a little bit of vanilla. And I'm going to put a layer on before I put on my peaches. And we're just sprinkling some brown sugar. And this is probably a tablespoon. I don't really measure something like this. All right, so we're going to put our cream cheese topping on, layer on first. And it is kind of optional. You don't have to do the cream cheese. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of the vanilla and get this mixed up real quick. And the cream cheese is room temperature. So the cream cheese was 4 ounces of softened. Then I had about half a teaspoon of vanilla. And we had 2 tablespoons of confectioner's sugar. And now we're just going to spread it out. And I have a real quick way to soften. I heat up my glass top oven and I lay the cream cheese in the foil on top of it on low and let it sit, and I flip it a couple times, and in a couple minutes I've got cream cheese soft enough I can spread. So we're just going to blob this out, and I'm going to spread it across for you. You can see I'm not doing a real thick layer because we don't want the cream cheese layer to ooze out. We want it to kind of ooze around the peaches and stay inside the dough. The little pinwheels we're going to make. I love pinwheels. You can also add chopped pecans if you like, or walnuts if you want. A lot of people love a nut pastry. Alright, so here we go. We're going to put the peaches on top and we're done. So even though you made this quick, you know, you still had to soften the cream cheese, but I showed you how fast I do it. But this is a real good thing to make if you're having company, or somebody asks you to bring some sweet rolls to a tea or something. Everybody loves them. You can do them with any kind of fruit flavor. But in the summer, we tend to think of peaches around here, and I just thought peaches would be good this morning. They're such a good summertime fruit. All right, so now we're going to throw on top our peaches. And I did cut the ones I could see on the top that were really big. I just don't want great big peaches oozing out of the pastry. I'm going to keep cutting them. Hold on. I've got some kitchen scissors. And if I need more than a cup, I'll grab it out of the can. Alright. And they will shrink. Peaches have water in them. Okay. We do not have company. These are just for my husband and I. If you saw me lick my finger. It's hard to pass up a good peach juice. Of course, you can use fresh peaches too. I added a couple more peaches because I wanted to make sure I had some coming all the way down. Because I don't want too many on it, because when I roll it up, I don't want all the peaches to come floating out. Okay, so now we've got our muffin pan ready to go. And from the long side, we're going to start to roll. And we're going to roll it tight to make the pinwheels. Wish I pulled out my pastry, my pastry paper. It's like a plastic thing that you roll pastry on, but I didn't. I didn't want to wash it. Okay, so let's tuck this in. I could have made them a little bit smaller, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's get a knife. I'm going to use a serrated knife. And let's grab the muffin tin. Let's see if you can see me cut. Yes, you can. Oh, I think I was supposed to twist them. Yep. It doesn't really matter. I'm making a mess. Let's start over here. Hold on. I don't know how I'm going to twist these. I made them so thick. I don't think they're going to be twisted at all. Let's just cut them. And I'm just going to stuff them in. Y'all may not be seeing this video if they don't cook up right. You know, it's kind of hard to mess up a pastry. Who cares what they look like? They're going to taste good. All right, so you get the general idea. Now, we're pretending, for the sake of beauty, that I rolled these up and made them into a little twist, like a pretzel, and then stuck them in here. But y'all know the truth. Now you can make your pastries bigger or smaller, depending on the size of your muffin pan. I've even used miniature muffins for these. I've got my oven preheated to 375, and these are going in for probably about 12 to 15 minutes. We're going to keep an eye on them. Then we're going to make a little glaze to go on top. I think the reason I couldn't cut mine and twist was I think that my crescent rolls had gotten to room temperature. But it's silly to even twist them because they just bake up and look the same. Excuses, excuses. Both pans are out of the oven. So we've got some confectioner's sugar. We're going to add a little bit of regular milk. Tiny bit of vanilla. Got one already opened. To spread over with a brush, we're going to make a little glaze. These are hot. As soon as this hits, it'll melt on them. If it's a little too thin, we're going to add a little bit more confectioner's sugar. Powdered sugar, whatever you want to call it. I want it a little bit thicker. I don't want it to run off. Okay. You could also have made a streusel topping if you'd wanted, out of some oats, a little bit of brown sugar, some butter, and nuts. That would have been real good too. Alright, so we've got the other one still in the oven. So we're going to let these cool. It took them about 15 minutes to completely cook. And they just look like a delicious puff pastry. It did not matter at all they weren't in a pinwheel shape. Well, thanks so much for watching, and I'll put the real simple directions in the description as always. And I also put on closed captions so you can read along as you watch if you like. Well, bye-bye. Oh, let me show you one real quick. Can you see that? With that delicious cream cheese oozing out of it. It's so hot it about burned my fingers. Bye.